Blog Talk Radio.
Kulatanya Idame Yemibal said on Saturdays, the Sabbath, Meskel Abra Bekokoboch Samayin Asget Kohulum Ahayin Asai Meskel Abra Bekokoboch Samayin Asget. The cross shined and had the heavens embroidered with stars. Of all the sun is seen. The cross shined and had the heavens embroidered with stars. Yes, Shabbat Shalom.
My God, it's full of stars, full of stars.
His foundation is in the whole of mountains. Jehovah's the gates of Zion more than all the dwellings of Jacob. Glorious things have been spoken of the O city of God. I'll make mention to Rahab and Babylon to them that know I. With the old Philistine Tyre, with Ethiopia, it shall be said that this man was born there. And the highest himself shall establish the earth. Jah Rastafari.
Let the words of thy mouth and the meditation of thy heart be acceptable in thy sight, O Most High Celestia, Jah Rastafari. The heavens declare the glory of the Most High, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Day unto day uttereth speech, and night unto night showeth knowledge. There is no speech nor language where thy voice is not heard. Their line is gone out through all the earth, and their words to the end of the world. Rastafari, Rastafari, bright and morning star. In them there's a tabernacle set for the sun, which has a bridegroom coming out of his chamber, and rejoiceth as a strong man to run a race. His going forth is from the end of the heaven, and his circuits upon the ends of it. And there is nothing hid from the heat thereof. Lightning. Everyone should know. Everyone should know. Everyone should know. O Rastafari. The law of the Most High is perfect, converting the soul. The testimony of the Most High is true, making wise the simple. The statutes of the Most High are right, rejoicing the heart. The commandment of the Most High is pure, enlightening the eyes. The fear of the Most High is clear, enduring forever. The judgments of the Most High are true and righteous altogether. More to be desired are they than gold, yea, more than much fine gold. Sweeter also than the honey and the honeycomb. Moreover, by them is thy servant warned, and in keeping of them there is great reward. Who can understand his errors? Cleanse thou me from secret faults. Keep back thy servant also from presumptuous sins. Let them not have dominion over I. Then shall I be upright, and I shall be innocent from the great transgression. Selah, Selassie. Everyone should know. Everyone should know. Rocket. Oh, Rastafari. Let the words of my mouth and the meditation of my heart be acceptable in thy sight. O Most High, I strength and I redeemer. Selah, Selassie. Aya Ingi. Paradise, bright and morning star. Glory to word, glory to sound, glory to the power of the Most High, the Imperial Majesty and Bride, the last Sky, Empress Menonite. I. Everyone should know.
Shabbat shalom, send it shalom. Shabbat shalom, send it shalom. Shabbat shalom. Shabbat shalom. Come, you children, obey the Father. Pray and praise to our Daddy. Jah watchful eye is everywhere. To see the lion bring love and happiness. Rasta the lion is the most high mistake. Bless the Sabbath day, and the Sabbath day is Saturday. Bless the Sabbath day, and the Sabbath day is Saturday. Come you children, moving car. Come you children, Rasta never gone. Make no delay, Jaja is here. More fire beam, rejoice and sing to me King. Bless the Sabbath day, and the Sabbath day is Saturday. Bless the Sabbath day, and the Sabbath day is Saturday. Look at the eastern sky, the morning meets the eye. Alda show I the way, last year I did wonder. Jaja the joy, Jaja the jury, Jaja the fire, Jaja the lightning. The Sabbath day, and the Sabbath day, Saturday. Sabbath day, and the Sabbath day is Saturday. Rasta-ta-ta, rolling the fire. Rasta-ta-ta, turn up the chalwa. you children, obey the call. Come, you children, abide the fall. Pray and pray to all your days. Now watchful eye is everywhere. Bless the Saturday, not the Saturday, Saturday. Bless the Saturday, not the Saturday, Saturday.
Them a run down. Why them really look about down judgments and them not look to the east? Tell me for the money them a run down. Why them really look about down judgments and I know them not see? Tell me a lot of judgment and them not know where judgment appear from. Boy must they take Rastafari here and but I'm like Job and I'm like dear and man and a father Albert man a father Abraham. Words in my mouth and anybody in my right and come to separate the good from the Satan. Yes me have to want the United Nation. One all Verotan, the one named Clinton. Yes, them go about to the Pope and Satan, but I see Pope, yeah, man have to send the vacation. And God deal with philosophy, cultivation. Not a from nation and the money them a run down. Why them really look about down judgment and them not look to the east? Tell me for the money them a run down. Why them really look about down judgment and I know them not see the performance them and not job. Dropping me turban and me dropping me robe. Some say them a me friend but them a too well this sword. Never sing me with me burden, must let with me load. I'm for the philosophy of me on the road. You know read Zion, you don't know the road code. Them no want me drive Benz and all let us afford. Me pamper them now like a toad. And the money them a run down. Why them really look about down judgment and them not look to the east? Tell me for the money them a run down. Why them really look about down judgment and I know them no see them on my dear young people. I and I say this to that.
In the abundance of water, the pool is thirsty, thirsty. Well, for water is available, but it's in vessel empty, empty, empty. In the abundance of food, the pool is hungry, hungry. Well, for food in the not fat, but still in belly empty, 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 empty. Life is what you make it to believe it or not. The wise man built his house on top of the rock. If you come in it from the sun, then you can fully idiot. Some of them must take away your thinking cap. Foundation of belief and strong. Follow the footsteps of the wise man. So you pick us up, no fit a sinking sand. In a this world of competition, in the abundance of water, the pool is thirsty, thirsty. Well, the water is available, but still in vessel empty, 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 empty. Some of that boat better boat come. After all that has been done, after all that has been done, you better into what you need and you won't get done. Cause a rat racing of the world we live in. Everyone just a program to win. You have to watch how the pendulum swing. I'm on to take your share and you don't get a thing. The fool now, no get it in nothing can take. Nah, no get it in no woke up at 20 fool. Nah, no get it in no sick out in neck. Nah, no get it if you're sleeping in your brain. In the abundance of water, the fool is thirsty. Get in that, oh raga raga, oh raga raga raga, victory is mine. When we say oh raga raga, yes raga raga raga, them couldn't stop me no time, no time. Oh raga raga, oh raga raga raga, victory is mine. When we say yes raga raga, yes raga raga raga, them couldn't stop me no time. Well them won't get free out, but it's not an easy task. Them tried many times before and couldn't take it up. So now them a smile, but we know it's just a mask. They want till we have to, we know what's the master. But when we visualize without smoking in the eyes, Mr. Big get a little stronger. It's like they hypnotize, I'll do what them criticize. Till we overcome them disaster. Oh raga raga, oh raga raga raga, victory is mine. And we say oh raga raga, yes raga raga raga. Them couldn't stop with no time, no time. Oh raga raga, oh raga raga raga, victory is mine.
Oh, they really think I'm running far. Oh, they really think I'm fighting far. Oh, they really think we're ready for yeah. Oh, they really think I'm running far. Oh, they really think I'm fighting far. Oh, they really think we're ready for. Hey, they know no love, and they show no love. I see they grow no love. That's why they grow no love. Well, love is the only thing they know. Oh, this is the other one, it's empty, not a row. Me, madam, me father, all the tell me so. Hey, don't talk about what I be fling up low. I can always hear this whistling like willow. Left that broad road and take the one narrow. The broad road from lead to the pain and sorrow. Blood for all and I got in a barrow. So ask them, do they really think I'm running barrow? Do they really think I'm fighting barrow? Do they really think we're in this warrior? Do they really think I'm running barrow? Do they really think I'm fighting barrow? Do they really think we're in this war? Hey, they know no love, and they show no love. Hey, they grow no love. That's why they grow no love.
Keep your head up. Look along with this guided road. Keep your head up. Please don't let the pressure get us down. Keep your head up. Look along, King Selassie, I set and see. Keep your head up. The love of each other is all we've got to see. There's no time for no fussing and fighting. No time for dispute about dancing. Time to purify this calling. King Selassie is warning. A person has divided, that's my brother. Look what's happening to our sisters and brothers. Babylon led them astray, but we're confident in God's victory one day. Rasta, keep your head up. Look so long we've been shining your road. Keep your head up. Please don't let the pressure get us down. Keep your head up. Look so long, King Selassie, I set and free. Keep your head up. The love of each other is all we got to see.
We know I know what's left, just maybe
I get no you cannot start a war. We no want no hearsay on no way. Already know who we are. Know your deeds are your evidence. Never depart from your conscience. Now feed your soul today is for tomorrow. Lord, get yourself on a program. A little love will be a slogan. Teach the youth the truth and let them follow. We know I know what to left to see where we forget. I get no youth gonna start the war. We know I know hearsay, I know raving. Already know who we are. You are man and so am I. Where I'm from you can't deny. A shareholder of the universe. Da, da, da. We are brothers, you remember. All in this thing together. Working for the common goal. Working for that gold. Oh men, where is your dignity? Oh when you'll find your identity. To take your brother's oath, not written in stone. No. Oh man, where is humility? When will you find honesty? Choose the good within, don't lose your soul. No.
መዝሙር 23 በቅንፍ 24 በመጀመሪያ ሰንበት የዳዊት መዝሙር። ምድርና ሞላዋ ለእግዚአብሔር ነው፣ ዓለምም በእርሷም የሚኖሩ ሁሉ። እርሱ በባህሮች መስርቷልና በፈሳሾችም አጥንቷልና። ወደ እግዚአብሔር ተራራ ማን ይወጣል? በቅድስናው ስፍራ ማን ይቆማል? እጆቹ የነጹ ልቡም ንጹህ የሆነ ነፍሱን ለከንቱ ያላነሳ ለባልንጀራውም በሽንገላ ያልማለ። እርሱ ከእግዚአብሔር ዘንድ በረከትን ከመድኃኒቱ አምላክ ምሕረትን ይቀበላል። ይህች ትውልድ እርሱን የምትፈልግ ናት፣ የያዕቆብን አምላክ ፊት የምትፈልግ። እናንት መኳንንቶች በሮችን ክፈቱ፣ የዘላለም ደጆች ይከፈቱ፣ የክብርም ንጉሥ ይግባ። ይህ የክብር ንጉሥ ማን ነው? እግዚአብሔር ነው፣ ብርቱና ኃያል እግዚአብሔር ነው፣ በሰልፍ ኃይል። እናንት መኳንንቶች በሮችን ክፈቱ፣ የዘላለም ደጆችም ይከፈቱ፣ የክብርም ንጉሥ ይግባ። ይህ የክብር ንጉሥ ማን ነው? የጭፍሮች አምላክ እግዚአብሔር፣ እርሱ የክብር ንጉሥ ነው። ክብር ንጉሥ ነው። ክብር ንጉሥ ነው። ክብር ንጉሥ ነው።
מזמור כ"ד לדוד מזמור. לאדוני הארץ ומלואה, תבל ויושבבה, כי הוא על ימים יסדה, ועל נהרות יכונניה. מי יעלה בהר אדוני, ומי יקום במקום קודשו? נקי כפיים ובר לבב, אשר לא נשא לשווא נפשי ולא נשבע למרמה. יישא ברכה מאת אדוני וצדקה מאלוהי ישעו. זה דור דורשיו מבקשי פניך יעקב סלע. שאו שערים ראשיכם והינשאו פתחי עולם ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני עזוז וגיבור, אדוני גיבור מלחמה. שאו שערים ראשיכם ושאו פתחי עולם ויבוא מלך הכבוד. מי הוא זה מלך הכבוד? אדוני צבאות הוא מלך הכבוד. סלע, 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 סלע.
Kadamawi.
The whole place is due for help. Psalm 24. The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof, the world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the seas and established it upon the floods. Who shall ascend into the hill of the Lord, or who shall stand in his holy place? He that hath clean hands and a pure heart, who hath not lifted up his soul unto vanity, nor sworn deceitfully. He shall receive the blessing from the Lord, and righteousness from the God of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him, that seek thy face, O Jacob. Selah. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, and be ye lift up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord strong and mighty, the Lord mighty in battle. Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them up, ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come in. Who is this King of glory? The Lord of hosts. He is the King of glory. Selah, 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 Selah.
This is Psalm 24 without apology. Muta Maruka and Luciana. Trust me.
Yes, it's the Lord in the fullness thereof.
The earth is the Lord's and the fullness thereof.
World and they that
The world and they that dwell therein. For he hath founded it upon the sea,
He hath founded it on the
and
sea,
established it upon the flood.
established it on the flood.
Who shall ascend in the hill
Who
of
shall
Jacob,
stand in the hill?
or who shall stand in his holy place?
Who shall stand in the holy place?
He that hath clean hands
He that hath
and a pure heart,
and pure heart,
who hath not lifted up his
who hath
soul
not
into vanity,
lifted up his
nor
soul
sworn
to
deceitfully.
vanity.
He hath received the blessing from Jah and righteousness from the Almighty of his salvation. This is the generation of them that seek him.
This is the generation that seek him the most high God.
That seek thy face, O Jacob.
Seek thy face, O Jacob. Oh, yeah, right.
Lift up your heads, O ye gates,
Oh, lift up
and be
your
lifted up,
heads, O
ye everlasting doors, and the King of glory shall come
and
in.
the King of glory shall come in.
Who is this King of glory?
I say, who
Emperor Haile I, Selassie I.
of glory?
Jah, strong and mighty. Jah, mighty in battle.
Mighty in battle, mighty in war.
Lift up your heads, O ye gates, even lift them
Oh,
up,
lift up your
ye
head,
everlasting doors,
be ye lifted up,
and the King of glory shall come in.
and the King of glory, yes, the King of glory shall come in.
Who is this King of glory? Emperor Haile I, Selassie I. He is the King of glory.
Who is the King of glory?
Jah, Rastafari. He is the King of glory.
Jah Rastafari. He is the King of glory. Yes, the Lord of glory. King of glory.
Who is the King of glory?
Come here.
Jah Rastafari, Emperor Haile Selassie. He is the King of glory.
Who is the King of glory?
Who is the King of glory? Emperor Haile Selassie. Emperor of Ethiopia. King of kings, Lord of lords, conquering lion in the tribe of Judah. He makes of himself light of the world. Jah Rastafari. He is the King of glory.
Yes, we have Zion.
Rastafari is Almighty. Rastafari is Almighty. Rastafari is Almighty. Ever live and never paid for. Ever live and never sure. Ever live and never paid for. Ever sure. Yeah, he's the only king of the Sabbath, and the Sabbath is our only future. Yeah, he's the only king of the Sabbath, and the Sabbath is our only future. Yeah, he's the only king of the Sabbath, and the Sabbath is our only future.
Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat strong.
The heaven is here, the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. The heaven is here, the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork. Which day is the Sabbath day? The seventh day is Saturday. Yes, which day is the Sabbath day? The seventh day is Saturday. What do we keep? We keep the first day. What do we keep as the Sabbath day? We keep the first day. Who changed it? It is the Catholic Church. Who changed it? It is the Catholic Church. What is the third commandment? The third commandment is to remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. What are we commanded by the third commandment? To remember the Sabbath day and keep it holy. What are we commanded by the third commandment? By the third commandment, we are commanded to keep the Sabbath day holy. Are the Sabbath day and Sunday the same? The Sabbath day and Sunday are not the same. Are the Sabbath day and Sunday the same? The Sabbath day and Sunday are not the same. Which day is the Sabbath day? The seventh day is Saturday. Yes, which day is the Sabbath day? The seventh day is Saturday. Who changed it? It is the Catholic Church. They changed it. Who changed it? It is the Catholic Church. The Sabbath day is the seventh day of the week, and not Sunday. Yes, the Sabbath day is the seventh day of the week and not Sunday. Which day is the Sabbath day? The seventh day is Saturday. Yes, which day is the Sabbath day? The Sabbath day is Saturday. Yes, which day is the Sabbath day? The seventh day is Saturday. Yes, which day is the Sabbath day? The first day is Sunday. What is the third commandment? The third commandment is to remember the holy day, which is the Sabbath day. Yes, the Sabbath day is the seventh day of the week, which is a Saturday. Yes, the Sabbath day is the seventh day of the week, which is a Saturday. Which day is the Sabbath day?
Yes, yes, yes. Twinkle Brothers right there with Sabbath Day. They say in the song, the tune, the third commandment. Well, that's read from the Protestant and influenced by the Catholic, but Hebraically, the Sabbath command is the fourth. It's like the fourth word, the fourth of the 10 words. We'll get into that a little bit more here for this 18th sabbatical study. That was right there. That was Twinkle Brothers with Sabbath Day right there, but they're correct on the seventh day. Yes, Zikor et Yom HaShabbat. So right here, Army Gideon. Shabbat Shalom, Shabbat Salam. I'm going to ride up with this Mishpatim, Judgments, Ordinances, Statements. Shabbat Shalom.
Shabbat Shalom. A song for days already inside your home. Sunday Salam. Shabbat Shalom. A song for days already inside your home. And it is such a good day, giving thanks and praises to the Most High, the Rastafari, on the south ray, playing on the 10th string, showing love and kindness, until in the brutish man will never know, neither does the fool overstand his law, because Jah has made us triumph by the workings of our hands, work and eat God, He's a purpose and a plan, Shabbat Shalom. A song for days of rest inside your home. Sunday Salam. Shabbat Shalom. A song for days of rest inside your home. See when the wicked grow like the grass, workers of the iniquity make the righteous fast. Rastafari scatter them like sand of the shore. Enemies perish the dazzle and forevermore. But my heart shall rest up like the horn of Africa. See, I will anointed with fresh oil, with fresh oil. Shabbat Shalom. A song for days already inside your home and seal up and make it up. Shabbat Shalom. A song for days already inside your home. We don't make and it's not the time. We make out in our own mind with the behind. Babylon come with a different design and feel it all the day. Better relax and recline. His Majesty said unity and only done all. Sing up for them all, the sick and the blind. Consider divine. When the place we together, man, we call, we high and I go out, sure. You find your personal life. You feel so different this time. You find position and prayer. Balance with spiritual life. Rasta are Israelite. Where Babylon be like. Trying to cut the branch, please let it grow.
The roots of David, he could only be slow. Got to take it easy, please take it slow. That's why I say, Shabbat Shalom. A song for the days of red inside your home. Shabbat Shalom. A song for the days of red
Sabbatical study, this I Rastafari sabbatical study for this Shabbat Strong. In this week's Torah portion reading and feeding Shalom. So we continue right here with the Hebrew servant, not the Hebrew slave. Let's emphasize that. The Hebrew servant, or more correctly, more fully, the Hebrew indentured servant. This is where we pick up with mishpatim, the judgments, judgments. Here, this is often referred to in this week's Torah portion reading and feeding. We're at the 18th. Here we pick up with Exodus, the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book of Exodus, the Sefer Shemot. So we pick up with mishpatim, the judgments. Now, the last sabbatical in the previous Torah portion was Yitro, Yotor. There it explained and gave the record that exactly 7 weeks after the Exodus, so the 7 times 7, 2 sevens clashing right there in God's glory, in God's word. We have it in the previous Torah portion, the 17th, exactly 7 weeks after the Exodus from Egypt, or 49 days, 7 times 7. The 2 sevens clashing. Moshe, he gathered the Bnei Yisrael, the sons of Israel, the children of Israel, at the foot of Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, to enter into the covenant, the Berit, with the Yahweh, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch HaShem. Now there was drama, right? A dramatic display of thunder, lightning, the billowing smoke and fire. The Yahweh, he who be, who he be, his divine majesty descended upon Har, the mountain, and recited the Aseret HaDebarim, the 10 words, or the Decalogia, the Decalogue, known as the 10 Commandments, to Ha'am, to the people. Now upon their Shema'ah, their hearing of HaTorah, of the pure law, the moral, the genuine morality requirements, however, Ha'am, the people, the Israelites, the people, what did they do? What happened? They shrank back. They fell back. The people fell all the way back when they heard the genuine morality of Yahweh, truth and life. Now remember, this was how long? This was how many days? This was 49 days. The 2 sevens clashing, 49 days after the Exodus. They shrank back, they fell back. The people fell back in fear, and they begged for Moshe, the hero, to be their mediator, Lifnei Elohim, before he who be before the Almighty Power, before Hashem. Ha'am, the people, then they stood off, while Moses alone, he drew near to the thick darkness to receive, to Kabbalah, to receive Torah, to receive the instruction, Jalor, the direction, the teaching from Adonai. Sure. Rastafari. Yes, I. So now for this Rastafari sabbatical, for this sabbatical study, for this sabbatical strong here in the 18th, picking up with Exodus chapter 21 to 24:18, picking up with 21, it begins with Moshe. Moses is in the midst of the thick darkness, receiving additional instructions regarding various civil laws for the Bnei Yisrael people, for the Israelitish people. So let's get this right here clear. Ha-mishpatim. So we're picking up right here, right, with Moses. Moses is still in that thick darkness. Now this connects with the prophecy given to Abraham Ha-Ipri, the Hebrew, the Aperu, right, father Aper, in
the first book of Moshe in Genesis chapter 15 concerning the 400 years and concerning when the sun was going down and that horror, that great darkness that came upon Abinu Abraham. The connection even right here and even with the prophecies furthermore in the Torah. But right here we pick up with Moshe, with Moses. Where is Moses? Moses is in the thick darkness, receiving the additional instructions regarding various civil laws for the Israelitish people. Now, the sages, so here we bring in the context of the Torah, right? For the once lost, now found, right? The black sheep of the Beit Israel. Let's bring this right here before getting into one of the first themes, was the contextual theme, and that's concerning the Hebrew servant. And want to emphasize the word servant, because many would tell you, even though we look at the scripture, the KJV, it clearly says servant. All right, it clearly says servant there, but often ones would push this slavery narrative. Now, here as we get to the second verse, right now, these are the judgments, right, that which thou shalt set before them, right. Now we pick up here with verse 2. Exodus chapter 21, verse 2. If thou buy a Hebrew servant. See, the word clearly is servant, Ebed, right? Ebed. Like we have Abdullah, Abed, Abdullah, within even the Arabic, coming from that, you could say that common Afro-Shemitic root. Now, this is often translated as a bondman. Bondage is the idea of bondage also. Let's keep this in mind. Remember how we touched on the word aboda, right? Aboda, in the sense within, down in denial in Egypt on the grid, when they were down in Egypt, that aboda and the twofoldness of it, right? In the plain sense, it's forced labor, right? Forced service. That's the plain sense. Now, the distinction with slavery and slavery, especially for the once lost, now found black sheep of the Beit Israel, is all about the matrix. You need to understand true word, the logos, and what words truly mean, and the power in words. Right, so we got to define the boundaries, the lines, but mainly, and beginning off with the definitions. This is why we focused on whether it was mishpatim, right? Whether it's mishpatim or ha mishpatim, mishpatim. This particular Torah portion, reading and feeding right here. Is it ha mishpatim? It's the judgments, the judgments. It's those sort of attention to details, right? So here in Hamishportim, right, Moses is still in the thick darkness, right? The sages, they count about 53 distinct judgments, right, and commandments that are listed in this portion of HaTorah, making it one of the most, quote, legalistics. Many people talk about, oh, you're being too legalistic. Right? It's because the lost sheep, or the black sheep, are too lawless. That's why the lost sheep continue to bleat and speak, no justice, no peace, because they are disorientated. They need to repent. They need to turn around from the astray way, from being disorientated and look in the right direction, right? And here's where Torah, HaTorah, the direction, the instruction, right, given, right, to Jah people, right, Jah way, truth, and life. So we have civil laws here. We have liability laws here. We have criminal laws here. We have agricultural laws, financial laws, family purity laws, sabbatical, Sabbath laws, holy day, holiday laws are all given in this parsha, in this portion here, mishpatim, ha-mishpatim. We have it all right here in this particular Torah portion. All right, so this is why this Torah portion is really so significant. Why is this Torah portion? Why is the law? The law is the key. It's really the key. It's the key to the matrix. The Torah and the law is the key to the matrix. Let me say that again. The law and the Torah. In fact, the whole word, we was watching Sophia Stewart, Miss Sophia Stewart, the creator, we'd say the mother of the matrix. In one of her there was a recent interview, right, with Sophia Stewart, the matrix. You heard about the matrix and Terminator. Well, who is the creator? Right? The creator of the seminal ideas is so very, very interesting. But the word, right, the law, the importance of the law, right, and HaTorah. What is the significance of this, not just for them then, there, in that Exodus, but in this Exodus, the movement of Jah people, in this very event horizon, in this present time right now. Right? See, what time is it? We see signs of the time, but what time is it? 399 years for the once lost so-called black people, the black sheeple in this North Country. They say they were brought over here in 1619. Now you have to connect that with Deuteronomy chapter 28, verses 15 to verse 68. Key attention to verse 68, where the children of Israel will be brought into another Egypt, right? And if you look on the back of their so-called God, their money, their dollar bill, the $1 bill, right? You'll see those keys, those signs. The signs are right there on the money. Now, what is the way to overcome, right? What is the way out? All right, so this is Yahweh, truth, and life. These are the keys. These are the keys right here, the Torah portion. And the key is also, I got to say it, I and I identity. We, the black Jews of the line of the tribe of Judah. All right, we are in the same position today as the so-called European Jews were in Nazi Germany. You know, when you really understand the signs of the time and you know what time it is. But here, let us focus on the receiving of these additional laws. All right, the receiving of these additional laws, and work our way up to one of the first points here concerning the slave or the servant or the slave, the Slav. So here's where we have to define words. So often ones would superimpose the word slave onto the scriptures in the Bible, but that is a word that has been superimposed by the white Anglo-Saxon Protestant and in counterfeit Christianity. Right. And as we start to define the definitions, the meanings, the context, right, with the art and the fact and the proof is all right there because it's the truth. So many ones will say, well, servant and slave is the same thing. Well, therefore, I can say employee. If you're an employee, right, are you a slave or are you a servant? Well, it all depends, right, on the type of employment, right, and on the type of treatment in that employment, right, wages and all of that. Right? What are your rights? What rights do you have? I mean, even today in Babylon, you still have the workers complaining, right, about wage and labor issues. They still haven't gotten that right. So let us first of all consider, right, another way. Right? Let us turn away from the disorientation. Right? You know, let us turn away from, we're looking to the west, riding west. Right? Riding west. You know, we have to get off of that train. That train is going over the cliff. Right, get off of that train and we have to look to the east. Right, we have to look to the east, as the word said, as the lightning strike, right, shine from the east to the west. So we've seen that lighting of King's Christ and that testimony, right? Even the black Jews, we the black Jews of Harlem, the Ethiopian Hebrew commandment keepers. For those watching the vlog version of this, you'll see that is Rabbi Wentworth Arthur Matthews. You know, and these men all testified, and others have testified, and we're here to remind even this generation, even this new generation, even the youngins right now, of that testimony of truth. Right, so that as we move forward, see, it's very important to know, well, where you have come from, to know your past. How do we get here? And to have the prophecy, what the prophet eyes see, that is really the key for us, right? To recognize all, right? To recognize, you know, to identify and neutralize all conspiracies, right, against God's people, against the children of his majesty. So let's go forward right here to look at after receiving the additional laws, Moses, he descended from Sinai, Har Sinai, and he went before Ha'am, he went before the people, and he told them all the words of the Yahweh. He told them all of the words of he who be, who he be. He went before the people, right, and he told them all the words, right? He revealed to them all the words. In the beginning, right? In the beginning was the Word, and the Word was what? The Word was with he who be, who he be, and the Word was he who be, who he be. So let us look at this right here. So what was the people's response? Upon hearing the details, all the people had responded in unison. Right? All of them had responded in unison that all the words which the Yahweh, which Yahweh has said, we will do. All right. They basically said that all the words. Now, see, we're going to begin to recognize how presumptuous, right, that was of them, right, and also the consequences of that. Right? They said all the words. Moshe then, he wrote down the words of the covenant into a separate scroll. Now, it's very, very important for us to recognize that Moshe wrote down all the words of the covenant into a separate scroll. Now, just make a note of there's a separate scroll. There's a separate scroll. It's known as the Sefer HaBarit. HaBarit. In other words, the scroll or the cipher, the Sefer, the writing, of the Berit. It's not Sefer Berit, Sefer of a covenant, but the Sefer HaBerit. Like this Torah portion is not just Mishpatim, right? But it is Ha-Mishpatim. So we have this separate scroll, the Sefer HaBerit. Moshe also built an altar at the foot of Har Sinai, Mount Sinai, and he ordered sacrifices to Hashem, to Yahweh, Hag Adosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem, to be made. He then took the sacrificial blood from the offerings and he threw half upon the Mizbeach, upon the altar. And he threw half upon the altar, right? And he read the scroll of the covenant to the people. And the people, they ratified, they made it right. Here's where it came into effect when they ratified. Right? And when you look at this word, even Ethiopically, it has its root tzedek, and the same word for justice, righteous. They ratify, they put into effect habarit, the covenant, by saying all that the Yahweh says we will do and obey. It's very interesting. Kol Asher, Kol Dibar Asher Yahuwah, you know what I mean? All that he has said, Na'asa. And then he said, Na'asa, we will do, Vanishma. Right? And we will hear. We will do and hear. Literally, what nishma means to hear, but also the implication is to obey. Right? The implication there is to obey. Now, it's very important for us to understand the significance of the Sefer HaBerit. Right? What is the significance of this separate scroll, this scroll of the covenant, right? This scroll of the covenant. Let's look at this right here, and let's just make this a little bit larger right here. Ha-Mishpatim, right? Yes, the scroll of the covenant, right? This separate scroll of the covenant. And also what the people respond. Remember before, they said all the words that Adonai has said, Na'aseh, we will do. Right? That was the elders. You see, the elders at first, right? We will do. Now, when all the people came to ratify, to put in effect the Habarit, the covenant, they said that all that Adonai says, Na'asa wa nishma. In other words, not only will we do, and we will obey, literally, wa nishma, we will hear. Right? But the hearing is connected with obedience. This is what I'm emphasizing right here, Chabarim. So when they said Na'asa, we will do, wa nishma. Right? And we will obey. The translator often translates we will obey, but literally we will hear. All right? So link the hearing and the obedience. That's why a lot of times we're reasoning with ones and ones, right? The Hebrews, right? And children of Israel. Don't we often say, you feel me? You hear me? You feel me? That idea and the feeling is also connected. So the hearing, right? The hearing links with the feeling and obedience. And with hearing and obedience, the connection is the feeling that we have about what we are hearing. Right? Make a note of that. The feeling that we have about what we are hearing, this will connect with whether we will obey, right, or not obey. Now, the people here, what did they say? We have to pay attention to what the people said. Were the children of Israel presumptuous? One can ask in that particular covenant. But let's go forward. Right? Now, upon hearing this, Moshe took the other half of the sacrificial blood and he threw it upon Ha'am. Right? Amo, right? Yisrael, Amo, Israel, his people, saying, behold, Hine, the blood, the dam of Habarit of Adonai has made with you in accordance with all these words. So the word agreement, right? When we say Kal Kidan, Bamarinya, right? That word agreement, agreeing with the word, and thus the voice. Right? After this, Moshe, Aharon and his sons Nadab and Abihu and 70 of the Ziknei Yisrael, the elders of Israel, they ascended Har Sinai. They ascended Mount Sinai to eat a covenant affirmation meal, to have sup and to eat that covenant affirmation meal between Yisrael, Amo, his people, Israel, and Adonai, and Hashem, and he who be, we be, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Baruch Hashem. Now, after returning from Har, from the mountain, with the Ziknei, with the elders, the Yahweh commanded Moshe to go back up to receive the tablets of stone. Right? Now, Moshe had to go back up to receive what? To receive the tablets, right? The tablets of stone. Right, the tablets of stone. So you see the connection with the two tablets, that lapis lazuli, that sapphire, the tablets of stone, and then the scroll and the tablets. Right, so there's a scroll here, the covenant scroll. Now Moshe being commanded to go back up to receive the tablets of stone inscribed with Eseret Debarim, the 10 words. On the seventh day there, Right? So Moshe is up there for about 7 days, and on the seventh day, note this, on the seventh day there, right? So he spent a sabbatical there, right? On the mountains, call back up. So that patience is a virtue, right? And on the seventh day, he heard, right, the voice, right? The voice of Yahuwah calling to him from the midst of the cloud of the kabod, right? Of the glory, the cloud of glory. And then he entered into the presence. This is the key. He entered into the panim, the face, the presence of he who be, who he be. He remained on Har. He remained on the Har, on the mountain, right, for a total of 40 days and 40 nights, while the Bnei Yisrael, while the children of Israel, while they waited, right, while they waited for him at the camp that was below the mountain. Now, this is a synopsis. This is an overview right here, right? A kind of an overview summary connecting with the previous Torah portion. And as I am moving forward in this 18th Torah portion, Ha-Mish-Portim, giving them a quick overview, right here, an overview of this Torah portion, and then to get to some of the main themes. What are some of the main themes right here? The firstly, indentured servant, right? Hebrew servant, no slave. Why the Hebrew servant is no Negro slave? I want you to understand that. You really have to understand. They came out from what could be, and according to the fulfillment of the type, was the equivalent of slavery, right? As we are coming out, right, as a Hebrew or the so-called Negro. But it's very, very important that what we have here is Ha-Mish-Portim. Not just Mish-Portim, not just judgments, but the judgments of Yahweh for his kingdom of priests and his Goy Kadosh, his Isla, his holy nations, holy people. So it's important for us to examine the Hebrew servant and also servant and slave, and for what reasons was one even assigned or consigned to such. Coming forward, Jah willing, stay tuned, Chabarim. Shalom, Chabarim, Shalom, Shabbat Shalom, Yeshua Shalom, Yesu Salam, Amen, 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 Salam.
אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך, לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי, לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא. זכור את יום השבת לקדשו, כבד את אביך ואת אמך, לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב, לא תענה ורעך עד שקר, לא תחמוד בית רעך.
My advice to all is to fulfill the Ten Commandments.
Run from the judgment. According to your word, you'll be paid. Can't run from the judgment. What you think when you do and what you say? Can't run from the judgment. No time to play. Can't run from the judgment. Can't run, can't hide. Want to others that you have them do unto you. Life is a cycle and I know it's true. Anything you do coming right back to you. Many a call but the chosen of few. Make sure play your power with the righteous crew. Or never indulge in a false view. It's the idol stew that has the right crew. Healthy food keep you pure and new. Say a prayer every day just to keep you in line. Remember me tell you it's a judgment time. Open your eyes and stop being blind. Seek and the church surely will find. The last thing never run with abundance and sign. Work hard for yours and I work for mine. Show some love and be kind. Stop from your crime. Tell you good and never ever get left behind. Oh, can't run from the judgment. According to your work you'll be paid.
Can't run from the judge. What you think when you do and what you say, hey? Can't run from the judgment. No time to play, hey? Can't run from the judge. Can't run, can't hide. You don't see through it, that makes sense, you run. What you gonna do now, your judgment come. You eat up your bread and give the youth them the crumb. You drink up your wine and have all the fun. Tell me who give the people the gun. Tell me who's gonna get the fire button. Whether from flames or it come from the sun. You would never know from when it come. Unlike the bomb, it have to bring fast fire. Yeah, escape get caught in the wire. Wicked man, full time you expire. Sucking me blood like a damn fire. No matter what I want, and this thing in a year, I will keep going higher. Higher like the one Jeremiah. Over the Hezekiah, Nehemiah, Zechariah was. Yeah, run from the judge. According to your work, you'll be paid. Yeah, run from the judge. What you think when you do and what you say, hey? Yeah, run from the judgment. No time to play, hey? Yeah, run from the judge. Yeah, run, yeah, hide. From the mountain was head. Run the sea and the sea was strong. Run the rock and the rock was crushed. Run the hills, but it can't hide. No matter where you run, it's a find. Nowhere to go, nowhere to shelter. Judgment, I follow your life, a reminder. And a fat fighter gets me like a grinder. Do unto others as you'll have them do unto you. Life is a cycle and I know it's true. Anything you do coming right back to you. Many are called, but the chosen are few. Make sure that you're already righteous too. And never indulge up in a box you. If the idol you, not at the right route. Healthy food, keep you pure and new. Judgment, better on the fire, judgment. Judgment, better on the fire, judgment. Judgment, better on the fire, judgment.
If tomorrow is Judgment Day,
Shalom, Chaverim. Here we have today's daily psalm. We have Psalm
መዝሙር 53 በቅንፍ 54 ለመዘምራን አለቃ በበገናዎች ዜፋውያን መጥተው ለሳኦል እነሆ ዳዊት በእኛ ዘንድ ተሸሽጓል ብለው በነገሩት ጊዜ የዳዊት ትምህርት
Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies.
መዝሙር 53 በቅንፍ 54 ለመዘምራን አለቃ በበገናዎች ዜፋውያን መጥተው ለሳኦል እነሆ ዳዊት በእኛ ዘንድ ተሸሽጓል ብለው በነገሩት ጊዜ የዳዊት ትምህርት አቤቱ በስምህ አድነኝ በኃይልህም ፍረድልኝ አቤቱ ጸሎቴን ስማኝ ያፌንም ቃል አድምጥ እንግዶች ቆመውብኛልና ኃያላንም ነፍሴን ሽተዋታልና እግዚአብሔርን በፊታቸው አላደረጉትም እነሆ እግዚአብሔር ይረዳኛል ጌታዬም ለነፍሴ ደጋፊዋ ነው ክፋትን ወደ ጠላቶቼ መልሳታል በእውነትህም አጥፋቸው ከፈቃዴ ሰዋልሃለሁ አቤቱ መልካም ነውና ስምህን አመሰግናለሁ ከመከራ ሁሉ አድኖኛልና ዓይኔም በጠላቶቼ ላይ አይታለችና
Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies.
מזמור נ"ד למנצח בנגינות משכיל לדוד בבוא הזיפים ויאמרו לשאול הלא דוד מסתתר עמנו אלוהים בשמך הושיעני ובגבורתך תדינני.
Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies.
אויבי ראתה עיני.
Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Let my prayer be set forth. Let my prayer be set forth before thee as incense, and the lifting up of my hands as the evening sacrifice. Evening sacrifice. Evening.
Teach me, teacher. Each high and I am a teacher. See, so this is what kind of cause a thing, because some people, you know, some Rasta man is more like, some Rasta don't do the work, in a sense of do the work.
Bring forth the Bible, bring forth the Bible, bring forth the Bible, bring forth.
መዝሙር 53 በቅንፍ 54 ለመዘምራን አለቃ በበገናዎች ዜፋውያን መጥተው ለሳኦል እነሆ ዳዊት በእኛ ዘንድ ተሸሽጓል ብለው በነገሩት ጊዜ የዳዊት ትምህርት አቤቱ በስምህ አድነኝ በኃይልህም ፍረድልኝ አቤቱ ጸሎቴን ስማኝ ያፌንም ቃል አድምጥ እንግዶች ቆመውብኛልና ኃያላንም ነፍሴን ሽተዋታልና እግዚአብሔርን በፊታቸው አላደረጉትም እነሆ እግዚአብሔር ይረዳኛል ጌታዬም ለነፍሴ ደጋፊዋ ነው ክፋትን ወደ ጠላቶቼ መልሳታል በእውነትህም አጥፋቸው ከፈቃዴ ሰዋልሃለሁ አቤቱ መልካም ነውና ስምህን አመሰግናለሁ ከመከራ ሁሉ አድኖኛልና ዓይኔም በጠላቶቼ ላይ አይታለችና
Teach me, teacher. Each high
and I am a teacher. Bring forth the Bible. Bring forth the Bible. Bring forth the Bible. Bring forth the Bible. Bring forth.
Shalom to Tonite Aling. Today's daily psalm according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrew. Yes, I. Here after the order. After the order of Melchizedek, we have Mezmor Hamsa Arat. We have Psalm 54. Shalom to Tonite Aling. Today's daily psalm according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrew. Yes, I. Here after the order. After the order of Melchizedek, we have Mezmor Hamsa Arat. We have Psalm 54. Hamsa Arat, Mezmor Hamsa Arat, from the Metzaf Kedus, the Book of the Seven Seals of Garmawi Haile Selassie, the authorized, advised, Amharic Bible. Here is theme Lefetih Hamlak, Yekarebe Abetuta, Lefetih Hamlak, to the righteous source. The source of fitih. You said the fitah neges, the fitih. Le fitih amlak yekarebe abetuta. A petition, an ask, a sha'al, a ask, or here in the royal heart, abetuta. Abetu. I father, his father, father of the house. Abetuta. Le fitih, to the righteous, the fitih. Fitih, you say the law of the kings, fitih neges, right? Or the fitah nagas, don't say, but the fitih neges, right? The law, the justice from the roots, justice, fitih, le fitih hamlak, yekarebe, that which is brought near, abetuta. Let's get right into the psalm. We've gone through some of the, the details from the Sefer Tehillim, but here we're riding up with today's daily psalm according to the royal order of the Ethiopian Hebrews, and here after the order of Malachi and Tzedek. So first and foremost, see, this is a prayer, right? A prayer in danger, a prayer in peril. We have some of the historical context, right? According to the scripts brought out here in the superscription. So here, let's pick up. Ahadu, Amlak, in the name of the Father, and of the Son, and the Holy Spirit, the one source sent in the Jemralen, beginning in the true Trinity, the Holy Trinity, the Hebrew Trinity right here. So we have the superscription, Mezemran Aleka, to the chief musician, to the musical director, to the musical leader, to the chief musician, Begenawoch. Now it's interesting that we have the string music, the negino, and there is a bingi note, right? Benegi note, right? Bingi note. Right? We say the Hebrew ayabingi, nayabingi. We have string, right? Music to play the harp. So here, Mamarinya on the begenas, begenawoch, zefawiyan metato le saol. So the Zephawian, we have the Zephim, right? Known as Zephim Hebraically, or the how they call themselves, the Ziphites, right? Here we have the Zephawian metato. They came le Saul and to Shaul, right? Shaul and to Saul, and the whole look, see, Dawit be'in yazen. Tesheshgual, he hides himself. Very interesting. Hebraically, we get the mistatir. Hello, David mistatir imanu. Doth not David hide himself with us? The hiding, mistatir, the Hebrew, mystery, secret. Tesheshgual, he hide himself below. They said, the negrutki, when they said it, in the time that they said it, yeah, David timharit. Here we have timharit. Give us the timharit of His Majesty, of Negusa Neges, the teaching of His divine majesty. Give us the maskil in the Hebrew. We have, KJV says to the chief musician, the musical leader, musical director on Negi notes. Maskil, italicized a psalm of David, when the Zephim came and said to Saul, doth not David hide himself with us? Isn't David a mystery with us? Hello, David mistatir imanu. Here the question in the royal heart. In that whole David ben yazen tesheshgual. Behold, but now it's interesting because in this sense right here, it's not so much a question. It could be, right? But they're saying, behold, David is with us. We can go get him. They were snitches, informants, and some very ruthless and dangerous, violent men. Now, this psalm is a prayer for defense. A prayer for defense. That's why it's lefitin amlak, fitih amlak, right? The just source. Here, Micah and I ride up with the HSV, Haile Selassie version, the Royal Amharic, side by side with the KJV. Let's pick up right here with a superscription. Once again, side by side, the Royal Amharic and the KJV, the King James Version. I now discover a version that's not the King James Version. It's the Book of the Seven Seals, the conquering lion tribe to the root of David. إنه داوود بن يازن تششغال the law ben Negarutikize yet David Timharit. To the chief musician on Neginot, my skill, a psalm of David, when the Zephim came and said to Saul, doth not David hide himself with us? Verse 1. Avitu Besimeh Adnain Behailehim Reddeling. Save me, Abitu, my father, his father, O father, the house. Besimeh Adnain. Besimeh Adnain. Besimeh Adnain. Save I in your name, by way of your name. Besimeh Adnain. Behailehim, and by your hail, your strength, your power. Note that we have the gevura in the Hebrew. Behailehim Fereddeling, judge me, but it's judge Fereddeling, judge ling, in favor, not Fereddebing, but Fereddeling, judge in favor of me. Behailehim, by the eyes male, hail, the eyes male, power. Kuter Hulet, verse 2. Abetu Atzelotena Seman Yafenim Kala Adint. Heed, give ear, hear my prayer. Oh, Abetu, my father's father house, Abetu Atzelotena Seman Yafenim Kala Adint. Give ear to the words of my mouth, Ya'afe. So we have the Fe, the Phi, the Fe, right? Imrefi, Ya'afenim, Kal, the word, the Kala, Adint, right? Hear to I, give ear to I. Like pay attention to what I am saying with Afe, my mouth, and the Kal, the word of my mouth, the meditation of my heart. Source, verse 3. In Gadoch, Kumoa Binyalina, Hayalanima Nefsena, Shitawatalina, Giziabi Herina, Befitacho, Aladeregutim, for strangers. In Gadoch. Interesting here is, in Gadoch could be a guess. In Gada like a guest. In Gadoch, guest, in a sense. It's interesting. Guest. They're guests. You know, someone say, I live here, but they're a guest. In Gadoch, Kumo, Binyalina, in Gadoch, Kia Zarima, Kamu, Alai, Kamu. Here we have in the world of High Kumo, Binyalina, in Gadoch, Kumo, Binyalina, for strangers are risen up against I. But properly, this is the proper word actually for the sense of the Zari. Right? Hayalanim. The Hayalan are the powerful ones, the strong mind them, the Hayalan. This can be in a good sense or a bad sense. Here, we can divide the context. It's a bad sense because the Hayalanim, Nefsain, my soul, my psyche. Shitawatalina. Why would strong ones have to go after one's soul? Why against her? They have not put the sustain the good, the generous, that fitacho in their perception, before their faces, not as an idol or idolatry, but in their presence, in their perception, right? So he's before them, so they're viewing the world through his spectacle, so to speak. They have not said before them in their presence, in their perception. Selah, pause. Inneho egziaviha yeredanya legetayema lenesea de gafiwano. behold, and now, look, see, look, sight. Exaviher Yeredanya, Exaviher will help me. Exaviher he's helping me and he will help me. That's the sense that the sustainer, the good, the generous is helping me. Even when he's not hating on I. He is helping me and he will, even from now ad infinitum, Exaviher Yeredanya, Getayim, and my Lord, here says the Lord in the KJV says the Lord is with them that uphold my soul. The Lord is with them that it's interesting in the Hebrew it has Adonai de somke nafshi, that Adonai is for I as the upholder of my soul. It says that Adonai is for I, the somke, an upholder, somke nafshi. He's an upholder of my soul. By Marinda, we have Getayim and my Geta, my Lord. The Adonai sends le nefse for my soul, the gafiwano. So here the KJV says the Lord is with them. Who? With them that uphold my soul. Notice right here in the Hebrew, there's not that middle, there's no kind of middleman. It says that Getayim, that and my Lord Adonai le nefse for my soul, the gafiwa is her support. Right, the gafiwa is her support. We say upholder is her upholder of my suke. This is in perfect agreement with the Sefer Tehillim Adonai. Be'er somke nafshi getayim lenefse de gafiwa no. Kuter amis, verse 5. Kafatina wadet ratoche ye melesatal. Be'unetehim atafacho. He shall reward evil. Right, the price is right. Reward them evil, right? Reward evil to mine enemies. Kafatin, evil. Water telatoche to my haters, those who hate my soul, my psyche. Water telatoche, yemelisatal, right? He will reward. It's interesting. The evil is also because they're seeking to do this against my psyche, against she, metaphysically speaking. He will give them kafat she, right, for that evil they seek to do to she, to my soul. But it will net to him. Cut them off in the ilnet. In your truth. All this all about everybody got their own truth, your truth, my truth. That's some nonsense. Y'all keep following the Gentiles. Right, you know what? Some of them don't know any better. They don't know the right hand from the left hand, the Gentiles. But y'all know better. Once lost, now found. Right, black and brown or dumb and down. Right, but here he says, cut them off in thy truth, in thy objective reality. You cut off all the fantasy, all these lies in the objective reality. See, they want to hit your soul, that subjective experience, which is your soul, the subjective experience. You know what I mean? See, many ones are so caught up. This is why a lot of people can't judge without trying to get some feeling about it. See, because the soul is caught up in the matrix. But he shall reward evil to my enemies, the telatoch and the telat, those who hate and want to cast her down, my soul, my psyche, cut them off in thy truth. Be'unet to him at the facho. Be'unet to him at the facho. Cut them off, cause them to perish, actually. Cause them to be lost. It's an interesting word. Here the KJV said cut them off, but the at the facho is like destroy thou them in thy truth. Biometeka, the emet, biometika, the emet, the truth, right? In truth, hatfamitain. The idea here, even looking at the Hebrews to compare and contrast, is destroy them, cause them to perish in your objective reality. That's why I said the truth, right? The truth. But here it says, be'unetih, right? Ba'amitika, ka. He who be in the I, male truth, but it will net to him at the facho. Destroy them, cause them to be lost. Cut them off in thy objective reality. To this, verse 6. Kafek ade, isawal halo ade tu melkano wina simehin amesegnalo. I will freely sacrifice to the eye. Fekade, like my will, right? By my will. Like that is linking the whole free will. The free will. With a free will offering, will I sacrifice to thee. Fekade. This is what that's to say when it's what a free will offering is upon your will. Fekad is the will.
Kafekade from my will is Shawalahalo. And Shawalahalo are there too. My father, his father, old father of the house. Melkamna when for it is good. Shimehen Amesegnalo. I will praise thy name. Avetu. For it is good. Melkam the winner. For it is good. Simehen, and your name, your male name. They got all that kind of mix up. Simehen, amesegnalo, and your male name I will praise. I will give thanks to thy name, for it is good. Thy name is good. This is what this is saying. Right? It's Psalm 52, round about verse 11. Thy name is good, is what is good. Right? Not giving thanks is good. See, some people might get out of this, I will praise thy name. Oh Lord, for it is good, for it's good to praise your name. No, he's saying your name is good. That's what I'm going to praise. Right? There's a reference also, to the earlier verse where it says, save me by thy name. And the fulfillment of the abetuta, of the ass, the sha'ah, abetuta, kutar sabat, verse 7. Kamekra hulu adnonyalena, for he hath delivered me, I, out of all trouble. Kamekra, from the mekra hulu, from all the mekra, the trouble, trials, tribulation, all of that. He hath delivered. He has saved I. Adnonyal. Having saved I. He has saved, for he has, having saved I. It's already like a fait accompli. No matter how much they want to hate on I and me, right? He has already saved me, saved I. You have to receive this personal. John silent prayer, be still and know this and know this. I name, right? I name my I, and my I name bet alatochelai ayatalechna, and mine eye, she have seen, she, my eye. Now here's what the I name, my eye, in the singularity. Mine eye, Selassie, I live every time. I name, right? My eye. And my eye that alatochelai upon my haters, the haters of my suke, my psyche, the haters of I talechna, she has seen it upon them. She has seen it, mine eye. Very interesting verse right here, brought out here in the KJV. For he hath delivered I out of all troubles, trials, and tribulation, and mine eye have seen. It says his desire upon mine enemies. The more direct here is I name, and my eye. Remember we said that that single eye, unless your eye be single, right? The whole body full of light. I name, mine eye, she has seen it. She has already seen it. She having seen it. My eye has already seen that single eye, that Hamashiach, Yeshua has already seen it upon the haters, 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 upon the haters.
3.
መዝሙር 53 በቅንፍ 54 ለመዘምራን አለቃ በበገናዎች ዜፋውያን መጥተው ለሳኦል እነሆ ዳዊት በእኛ ዘንድ ተሸሽጓል ብለው በነገሩት ጊዜ የዳዊት ስም
Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies.
መዝሙር 53 መዝሙር 53 መዝሙር 53 በቅንፍ 54 ለመዘምራን አለቃ በበገናዎች ዜፋውያን መጥተው ለሳኦል እነሆ ዳዊት በእኛ ዘንድ ተሸሽጓል ብለው በነገሩት ጊዜ የዳዊት ትምህርት አቤቱ በስምህ አድነኝ በኃይልህም ፍረድልኝ አቤቱ ጸሎቴን ስማኝ ያፌንም ቃል አድምጥ እንግዶች ቆመውብኛልና ኃያላንም ነፍሴን ሽተዋታልና እግዚአብሔርን በፊታቸው አላደረጉትም እነሆ እግዚአብሔር ይረዳኛል ጌታዬም ለነፍሴ ደጋፊዋ ነው ክፋትን ወደ ጠላቶቼ መልሳታል በእውነትህም አጥፋቸው ከፈቃዴ ሰዋልሃለሁ አቤቱ መልካም ነውና ስምህን አመሰግናለሁ ከመከራ ሁሉ አድኖኛልና ዓይኔም በጠላቶቼ ላይ አይታለችና
Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies, 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 upon mine enemies.
Murderer!
Here, and here, Midrash of today's daily psalm, Mizmor, non dalet, Mizmor nun dalet, Lamnatseyach, din ginot, maskil Dawi, Bevor hazefi, Wayomru lishov, Hello, Dawi, mistatir imanu, for the leader, chief musician, Lamnatseyach, with string music, Bi niginot, din ginot, maskil of David, maskil Dawi. When the Ziphites came and said to Saul, doth not David hide himself with us? Before Hazefim Wayomru Shaul, hello David, mistatir imanu. Elsewhere, this is what Scripture says. Zehu Ashamar Hakatu Rav. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked or ratchet. Mishle Shlomo, Proverbs of Solomon, Proverbs 29 and 12. If a ruler hearken to lies, all his servants are wicked, are ratchet, Moshela, Makashiv, Allah Devar Shakar, Kola, Mishartayo, Rishai. If a ruler, if a ruler hearkeneth, Moshel, Makshiv, Moshela Makshiv. If a ruler hearkeneth all devar shakar upon the word, a lying word, all devar shakar, on lying word, all devar shakar, Moshel Makshiv, all devar shakar. If a ruler hearkeneth to falsehood, to false accusation, hearkeneth, Makshi, pays attention to and acts upon, Moshel Makshi al devar shakar. Call Mishartayo Rishai, all his servants call, all Mishartayo, all his servants Rishai, all his servants are ratchet, because they are liable to take advantage of the moshel, of the ruler's weakness, and bring lying charges. Similar is a statement in Ecclesiastes 10 and 2. As is the ruler of his people, so are his ministers. Moshel Makshib al Devar Shakar, Kol Mishartayo Rishai. Rav Meir said in the name of Rav Joseph, such were the Bnei Yisrael, such were the sons, the children of Israel, when the Ziphites beheld Shaul, Saul, incline his ear to listen to slander against David, they came and betrayed him to Shaul, to Saul, saying, even here in the superscription, the Hebraic second verse of today's daily psalm, Bevo ha-Ziphi, Wayomru le-Shaul, Hello, David mistatir imanu, saying, doth not David hide himself with us, with I and I? Hello, David mistatir, is he not hidden? Satar mistatir, hidden, a mystery, mistatir imanu, with I and I, amongst I and I, imanu. Hello, David mistatir imanu. Scripture tells us that Doeg, the Edomite, came and told Shaul. Scripture tells us, even in Mizmor Nun Beit, Lamnatseyah, Maskil le David, Bevo Doeg, Ha Edomi, Wayaged le Shaul. For the leader, the chief musician, Maskil of David, when Doeg, the Edomite, came and told Saul, Bevo Doeg, Ha Edomi, Wayaged le Shaul, and told Saul. And it tells also that Nabal asked mockingly in 1 Samuel chapter 25 verse 10, who is David and who is the son of Jesse? Therefore, when the Ziphites, the Zephim, observed that Saul accepted the other's slander, forthwith they also came, as it is written even here in today's psalm, Mizmor Non Dalet, in Psalm 54, verses 1 and 2, Hebraically. It is written, the Ziphites came and said to Saul, doth not David hide himself with us? With us? Hide himself. Is he not a mystery? Before Hazafim. Wayomru Lishol. Hello, David, Mr. Tir, Emanu. Save me, save I, O Elohim, by thy name. Here. Today's Psalm, these morning, Dalet, Psalm L-I-V, Psalm 54. Here, the Hebraic third verse. Elohim, Bishimcha, Hoshaini. Elohim, Bishimcha, Hoshaini. Save me, Hoshaini, Hoshaini, Hoshaini. Elohim, O Elohim, Bishimcha, Bishimcha, by thy name, by thy male name, Bishimcha, Elohim, Bishimcha, Hoshaini. David said to Hakadosh, Baruch Hu, to the Holy One, the Isla One, the Sanctified, the Set Apart One, blessed be He, Ribon, Shel HaOlamim, Master of the Universe, Universal Master, Ribon, Shel HaOlamim. When a centenarius persecutes a man, the man may complain against him to the prefect. And when the prefect persecutes him, the man may complain against him to the emperor. But when the emperor persecutes the prefect, to whom may the prefect complain? He has no one to complain to except thee, I, Elohim B'Shimcha Hoshaini. And here, Midrash note on the centenarius, the Midrash note on Mizmor Dalet, Nun Dalet, Psalm 54, on this interpretation of K'inne, this getting to the root word here Hebraically, Roman legal institutions, bringing out more for the Talmud, the scholar of Torah and the scripture. Here, Midrash note. Just so said to Hakadosh Baruch Hu, blessed be He, Ribon Shel HaOlamim, Master of the universe, Shaul, Meleku. He is king, he is Melech, he is Negus, he is king, he is Melech. Shaul, Saul is king. To whom shall I complain against him? I can only complain to thee, the I male. Thus, like this, David said, even here in today's Psalm, Hebraically the third verse, Psalm 54, verse 3, save me, O Elohim, by thy name, and judge I by thy strength. Elohim, Bishimcha, Hoshaini, Uavia Vorateka, Tidneni, Ubi Gaburateka, Tidneni. Elohim, save I by thy name, thy male name, Elohim Bishimcha, Hoshaini, and write me by thy might. Biga Burateka, Big Burateka, Tidneni. Here. What did he mean by the words? And judge me by thy strength, and judge me. Biga Burateka, Biga Burateka, Tidneni. What did he mean by and judge me? Tidneni. Tidnei ani, judge ani, I, Tidneni, by thy strength. Ubi Gaburateka, by thy Gaburateka, thy Gabura. What did David mean? He meant judge me, judge I, Tidneni, right I by thy might, judge I by Torateka, by thy Torah, thy male Torah, Torateka, in that thou, the I, Ata, has written, according to Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 16, thou shalt not deliver to his master a bondman that is escaped from his master to thee. Deuteronomy chapter 23, verse 16. Thou shalt not deliver to his master a bondman that is escaped from his master to thee. If thou hast said, even of a bondman who yesternight served idols, that, quote, when he comes to thee, to the eye, thou, the eye, shalt not deliver him to his master. Surely thou wilt not deliver I into the hand of Shaul HaMelech of King Saul, for I am a prince and the son of a prince, as is said even in Ruth chapter 4, verses 20 to 22, where it reads, Nahshon begot Solomon, and Solomon begot Boaz, and Boaz begot Obed, and Obed begot Jesse, and Jesse begot David, begot David. And so judge me by thy strength, judge me by thy strength. Or be a gabrate ka to delay me, and right eye by thy might. That is, by the strength of Torah, the strength, the might of Torah. That says, according to Mishlei Shlomo, the Proverbs of Solomon, Proverbs chapter 8, verse 14, counsel is mine and sound wisdom. I am understanding. Strength is mine. Proverbs chapter 8, verse 14. Li etah ve'tushia ani vina li gevura. Counsel is mine. Li etah, and sound wisdom. Ve'tushia and tushia. Li etah ve'tushia. I am understanding. Ani vina. Ani bina. Ani, I, bina. Understanding, overstanding. Power is mine. Li gevura. Li gevura. Li etah with tushia. Ani bina. Li gevura. Hear my prayer, O Elohim. Give ear to the words of my mouth. Hear my prayer. Hear the Dalet, Hebraically, the fourth verse of today's Psalm, Mizmor Dalet, Psalm 54. Hear my prayer, O God. Give ear to the words of my mouth. Elohim Shema Tifilati Hazina Limrefi. O Elohim, Elohim, Shema, Shema, hear, Shema, Tifilati, Shema, Tifilati, hear Tifilati, my prayer. Ha'azina, give ear, broaden the ear. Ha'azina, le imrei fi, broaden the ear to the imrei fi, to the words of my fi, of my mouth. Elohim Shema, Tifilati, Ha'azina, le imrei fi. According to Rav Hoshaya, David said to HaKadosh Baruch Hu, to the Holy One, blessed be he, Ribon Shel HaOlamim, Master of the universe, universal Master. Doeg, dog, came and slandered me, and slandered I. Saul accepted the slander from him and listened to him. Hazafim, the Ziphites of Zafim came, and Saul heeded them also. I shall not go to Shaul, to Saul, but to thee I. Hear me, give ear to me, give ear to I. Hear my prayer, O Elohim, for strangers have risen up against me. They have not set Elohim before them. Selah. Hear. Elohim Shema Tifilati Ha'azina Limrefi Kizarim Kamu Alai We'arzim Vikshu Nafshi Lo Samu Elohim Lenegdam Selah. They have not set their minds on what is written in the Torah, in HaTorah, even in Devarim, Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 24. Cursed be he that smiteth his neighbor in secret. Cursed be he that smiteth his neighbor in secret. Deuteronomy chapter 27, verse 24. But what have they set their minds on? On what Saul said to them. And what did Saul say to them? In 1 Samuel 23, 21, Saul said, Blessed be ye of the Lord. But of what avail Saul's blessing? Of what avail Shaul's baraka? If they are accursed men, they have been long accursed. For Moses cussed them, saying, Cursed be he that smiteth his neighbor in secret. Hear. Hence it is said, even in today's daily psalm, Lo Samu Elohim lenegdam. They have not set Elohim before them. Selah, pause. Lo Samu Elohim lenegdam. Selah. Behold, Elohim is my helper. The Lord is for me, for I as the upholder of my soul. Hear today's psalm, Mizmor Nun Dalet, Non Dalet. Hear the Vav, the 6th verse of today's psalm. Behold, Hine Elohim Ozer Li, Adonai B'Somchei Nafshi. Behold, Elohim is my helper. Hine, look, see, here it is. Hine, Elohim Ozer Li. Ozer is the helper. Ozer is Ozer Li, for me. Li, for me. Ozer Li. Hine, Elohim Ozer Li. Adonai, B'Somchei Nafshi. Adonai, Adonai, the sovereign. B'Somchei Nafshi is for me, for I, as the supporter, the upholder of Nafshi, of my psyche. They asked David, who told thee this? Who told the I this? According to Rav Shimon ben Pazi, David replied, when I was in the womb of Amy, of my mother, Eitan the Ezrahite prophesied that Elohim would say of me, even according to the words from Psalm 89, Hebrew 21st verse, Psalm 89, 21. I have found David my servant. With my holy oil have I anointed him. I have found David my servant, and with my holy oil have I anointed. With my holy oil I have anointed him. Matati David Avdi Shemen Kadeshi Meshachetiya Matati David Avdi Shemena Kadeshi Meshachetiya. I have found David my servant. Matati David Avdi, with my holy oil. Shemena Kadeshi, Shemen Kadeshi, with the Shemen Kadeshi, my holy oil, have I anointed him. Meshachetiya, I've messiahed him. Meshachetiya, Matati David Abdi, Shemen Kadeshi, Meshachetiya. Hence, here. Adonai is for me, for I, as the upholder of my soul. Adonai, bit som ke nafshi. Adonai, Adonai, bit som ke nafshi. The upholder, as the upholder. The Hebrew here is idiomatic and more accurately reproduced by this translation than by the RV, the Revised Version, which reads, is of them that uphold my soul. More accurately translated here today's psalm as the upholder. Adonai, bit somke, nafshi, of my soul, my psyche of she, nafshi. On the other hand, some translate as the great upholder of the soul. Bit somke, nafshi, bit somke, nafshi. The sense is not that Ha'el, Hayel, the true good, the true God, the power, Ha'elohim, is the support of the psalmist among many others, but the sense here Hebraically is that he is so in the supremest, in his supremacy degree, the highest degree, that he, even he who be Adonai, sums up in himself the qualities of a class, the class of helpers. Thus, hence here, Adonai, bit somke, nashi, 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 nashi.
מזמור נ"ד למנצח בנגינות משכיל לדוד, בבוא הזיפים ויאמרו לשאול, הלא דוד מסתתר עמנו. אלוהים בשמך הושיעני, ובגבורתך תדינני.
Psalm 54. Save me, O God, by thy name, and judge me by thy strength. Hear my prayer, O God, give ear to the words of my mouth. For strangers are risen up against me, and oppressors seek after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God is mine helper. The Lord is with them that uphold my soul. He shall reward evil unto mine enemies. Cut them off in thy truth. I will freely sacrifice unto thee. I will praise thy name, O Lord, for it is good. For he hath delivered me out of all trouble, and mine eye hath seen his desire upon mine enemies.
So we always need more chizuk. The Gemara tells us that one of the things that always we need help in strengthening is a tefillah. So one may ask, how can I keep myself motivated for tefillah? How can I keep myself motivated to pray to God? I see things that I'm not getting answered. It's very hard. Sometimes I'm just not feeling it. And first off, this comes from a person having to know how big tefillah really is and what's on the other side of it. You have to understand that a lot of times when we meet a lot of resistance in something that is so huge and something that's so big, you have to understand that the other side knows, the Sitra Achra, the Satan, the devil, the whatever you want to call it, the other side of resistance already knows how important prayer actually is. So what do you think? That it's going to be one of the main places that a person is going to have to experience that battle, that fight. But what should strengthen the person is that they should already know, they should be able to judge it by how hard it is for them to do it, that they're able to know how big this thing really is. So that should be motivation for everybody. Rashi himself says that when it says in the Gemara and the second Brachos, so that there are things that stand at the height of the world. It's tefillah. This is tefillah. This is prayer. Stands at the height of the world, but it's disrespected the most. People don't take it serious. They don't understand that on the other side of this, it's not a maybe. I'm telling you this, especially on the things that are ruchnis, things that are spiritual. It's not maybe. Hashem will save the person. It's going to be dependent on how much emunah you have and how much betachon you have, how much trust that you have in your prayers. That's what's going to depend on you being saved or not. So that should be the chizuk. I see that it's very, very hard for me to pray, for me to open up and to be able to say what I can't feel that Hashem feels far from me. You should know that in that moment right now, you're facing the biggest resistance because the biggest prize is on the other side of that. So we should all strengthen ourselves with the feeling of that Hashem.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel, O children of Israel? Are ye not as
Barku et Yahweh Hambarak. Barku et Adonai Hambarak. Bless Adonai, who is blessed. Baruch Adonai Hambarak Le'olam Wa'ad. Blessed is Adonai, who is blessed now and forever, now and forever. Baruch Adonai Hambarak Le'olam Wa'ed. Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bahar Banu Mikol Ha'amim U'natan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Ata Adonai Noten HaTorah. Blessed is Adonai, who is blessed now and forever and forever. Blessed art the I, Adonai, I Elohim, sovereign of the universe, king of the universe, eternal king, who has chosen I from among the peoples and given us the Torah, Torah, his Torah. Blessed be the I, Adonai, who gives Torah.
Baruch Ata Adonai.
Rastafari, Rastafari.
Blessings of the Torah before the Torah portion reading in the Hebrew and English tongue. Baraku et Yahweh Hambarak. Baruch Yahweh Hambarak. Leolam Vayed. Baruch Atah Yahweh Eloheinu Melech HaOlam Asher Bekarbenu Mebal HaMayim Venutan Lanu Et Torato. Baruch Atah Yahweh Noten HaTorah. Bless Yahweh, the Blessed One. Blessed is Yahweh, the Blessed One, for all eternity. Blessed are you, Yahweh, our Almighty, King of the universe, who selected us from all the peoples and gave us his Torah. Blessed are you, Yahweh, giver of the Torah.
I say greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie I the First of Ethiopia. Honor and well-wishes. I say greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty Haile Selassie the first of Ethiopia. Honor and well wishes and favor.
Join thy light, and I be a testament of the light that shineth through the night. Humble lion, and I forward and reach Mount Zion. To be following the light of the Lamb and the Lion, the most holy one, the Father and the Son. Read it in the Old and the New Testament. May I tell you to read up your Bible.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
The second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book called Exodus. Exodus chapter 21. Here from the Sefer Shemot, from the book of the name, Here, Shema Yisrael, here, Gevil Yisrael, here for the 18th Rastafari sabbatical study, here for this Shabbat strong. We have Mishpatim, Chaverim, Judgments. Here for this 18th Rastafari sabbatical study, for this Shabbat strong, for Shabbat Mishpatim. Here picking up with the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book called Exodus. Exodus chapter 21. Here from the Sefer Shemot, from the book of the name, Hebrew first word is here for the Rishon, the first Aliyah, for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath, judgment. We'ele ha mishpatim asher tasim lifnehem. Now these, the judgments which thou shalt set before them. Here, Shema Yisrael. Hebrew first words here, Exodus chapter 21, the law, ha Torah. The second item, the judgments, the mishpatim, ha mishpatim, the judgments, master and servant. We'ele ha mishpatim asher tasim lifnehem. Now these are the ordinances, ha mishpatim, the judgments, ha mishpatim, the ordinances. Asher, that which Asher Tasim, to set lifnehem, before them, before their presences and their perception. If thou buy an Hebrew servant 6 years, he shall serve, and in the 7th he shall go out free for nothing. If his master, if he came in by himself, he shall go out by himself. If he were married, then his wife, Ishto, his Arset, shall go out with him. If his master have given him a wife, Aisha, and she have borne him sons or daughters, the wife and her children shall be her master's, and he shall go out by himself. And if the servant shall plainly say, I love my master, my wife, and my children, I will not go out free, then his master shall bring him to the judges. He shall also bring him to the door, or to the doorpost, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl, and he shall serve him forever. With Gisho, where he Gisho, Adonai Elah Elohim, then his master shall bring him to Elohim, to Ha Elohim, to the Elohim, to the judges. With he Gisho Elah and shall bring him to the delet, to the delet, to the door, with higisho ilaha delet, or ilaha mizuzah, or ilha mizuzah, or to the doorposts, with rat'ah Adonayo illa azno ba maratzeya, and his master shall bore his ear through with an awl. Waya vado le olam. Wa ibado, and he shall serve. Wa ibado le olam, and he shall serve him forever, and he shall serve him forever. And if a master sell his daughter to be a maid servant, she shall not go out as the men servants do. If she please not her master, who hath betrothed her to himself, then shall he let her be redeemed. To sell her to a strange nation, he shall have no power, seeing he hath dealt deceitfully with her. And if he have betrothed her to his son, he shall deal with her after the manner of daughters. If he take him another wife, her food, her raiment, and her duty of marriage shall he not diminish. And if he do not these three to her, then shall she go out free without money. The law ha-Torah, the second item, ha-Mishpatim, the judgments, the ordinances, injuries to the person. Verse 12. He that smiteth the man so that he die, he shall be surely put to death. And if a man lied or lay not in wait, but Elohim deliver into his hand, then I will appoint thee a place whither where he shall flee. But if a man come presumptuously upon his neighbor to slay him with guile, thou shalt take him from mine altar, that he may die. And if he that smiteth his father or his mother shall be surely put to death, and he that stealeth a man and selleth him, or if he be found in his hand, he shall surely be put to death. And he that curseth his father or his mother shall surely be put to death. And if men strive together, and one smite another with a stone or with fist, and he die not, but keepeth his bed, if he rise again and walk abroad upon his staff, then shall he that smote him be quit. Only he shall pay the loss of his time, and shall cause to be thoroughly healed. And hear, Shema Yisrael, hear, give ear. Here for the Sheni Aliyah. Here for the second Aliyah, the offering. Here for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath judgments. Here picking up with the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book, called Exodus chapter 21, here at verse 20 for the Sheni, for the second reading of offering Aliyah, for this Shabbat Mishpatim. Wiki Yakeh Ish etta avdo o etta amato ba shevet umeita tachata yado nakoma natam. And if a man smiteth his servant or his maid with a rod, and he die under his hand, he shall be surely punished. Wiki yakeh isha etta avdo, if a man smite his bondman, wiki yakeh isha etta avdo, or etta imato, or his bondwoman, imato, bashevet, with a rod, bashevet. Umeita tahata yado, and die under his hand. Umeit tachat yado nakoma yinakam. He shall surely be punished. Nakom yinakam. Notwithstanding, if he continue a day or two, he shall not be punished, for he is his money. If men strive and hurt a woman with child, so that her fruit depart from her, and yet no mischief follow, he shall be surely punished, according as the woman's husband will lay upon him, and he shall pay as the judges determine. And if mischief follow, then thou shalt give life for life, eye for eye, tooth for tooth, hand for hand, foot for foot, burning for burning, wound for wound, stripe for stripe. And if a man smite the eye of his servant or the eye of his maid, that it perish, he shall let him go free for his eye's sake. And if he smite out his manservant's tooth or his maidservant's tooth, he shall let him go free for his tooth's sake. If an ox gore a man or a woman that they die, then the ox shall be surely stoned, and his flesh shall not be eaten, but the owner of the ox quit. But if the ox were used to push with his horn in time past, and it hath been testified to his owner, and he hath not kept him in, but that he hath killed a man or a woman, the ox shall be stoned, and his owner also shall be put to death. If there be laid on him a sum of money, then he shall give for the ransom of his life whatsoever is laid upon him, whether he hath gored a son or have gored a daughter. According to this judgment shall it be done to him. If the ox shall push a manservant or a maidservant, he shall give to their master 30 shekels of silver, and the ox shall be stoned. And if a man shall open a pit, or if a man shall dig a pit and not cover it, and an ox or an ass fall therein, the owner of the pit shall make good. Give money to the owner of them, and the dead beast shall be his. And if one man's ox hurt another's, that he die, then they shall sell the live ox and divide the money of it, and the dead also they shall divide. Or if it be known that the ox hath used to push in time past, and his owner hath not kept him in, he shall surely pay ox for ox, and the dead shall be his own. And here, Shema Yisrael, here. Second book of Moshe, Hebrew book called Exodus chapter 22, the law, HaTorah. Second item, HaMishpatim, the judgments, rights of property. If a man shall steal an ox or a sheep and kill it or sell it, he shall restore 5 oxen for an ox and 4 sheep for a sheep. If a thief be found breaking up and be smitten that he die, no blood for him. If the sun be risen upon him, blood for him. He should make full restitution. If he have nothing, no thing, then he shall be sold for his theft. If the theft be certainly found in his hand alive, whether it be ox or ass or sheep, he shall restore double.
אנוכי אדוני אלוהיך, לא יהיה לך אלוהים אחרים על פניי, לא תישא את שם אדוני אלוהיך לשווא, זכור את יום השבת לקדשו, כבד את אביך ואת אמך, לא תרצח, לא תנאף, לא תגנוב, לא תענה ברעך עד שקר, לא תחמוד בית רעך.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
And here, Shema Yisrael, here, give here. Right here for the Shalishi. Here for the Shalishi Aliyah. Here for the third reading, the third Aliyah, the third up offering. Here for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath judgments. Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath the judgments. Here picking up the second book of Moshe, Hebrew book that's called Exodus. Here from the Sefer Shemot. Here from the Sefer, the book of the names. Exodus chapter 22. Here at verse 5 in the KJV, King James Version, for the Shalishi Aliyah, for the third reading, the third Aliyah, third up offering here for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath judgments, corresponding here in the Masoretic Hebrew, here in the Chumash to verse 4 in the Hebrew for the Shalishi Aliyah, here for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath judgments, Sabbath ordinances. Here, picking up with Exodus chapter 22 in the Masoretic Hebrew from the Sefer Shemot, verse 4, corresponding to the King James Version, Exodus chapter 22, verse 5. Ki yav'er ish sade o karema we shilach etta be'iro ua bi'era Bia Sedeya Acher Meitav Sadehu Ua Meitav Karmo Yishalem. If a man shall cause a field or a vineyard to be eaten, and shall put in his beast, and shall feed in another man's field, of the best of his own field, and of the best of his own vineyard, shall he make restitution. Ki yav'er ish sadeh or karem shilach eta be'iro. If a man cause a field or vineyard to be eaten, yav'er ish sadeh or. If a man cause a field or yav'er ish sadeo cherem shilach eta be'iro, or vineyard to be eaten, and shall let his beast loose, o bi'era bia sedeya acher me'tav sadehu, and shall let his beast loose and it feed in another man's field. In another man's field, or bi'era bi sedei acher me'atav sadehu, of the best of his own field and of the best of his own vineyard. Or me'atav karmo yishalem, shall he make restitution. Yishalem, shall he make shalem, restitution, make peace, restitution. If fire break out and catch in thorns, so that the stacks of corn or the standing corn or the field be consumed therewith, he that kindleth the fire shall surely make restitution. If a man shall deliver to his neighbor money or stuff to keep, and it be stolen out of the man's house, if the thief be found, let him make him pay double. If the thief be not found, then the master of the house shall be brought to the judges, shall be brought to the Elohim to see whether he have put his hand to his neighbor's goods. Im lo ye'matei ha ganav we nikrav ba'alaha bayita ilaha Elohim im lo shalach yado bia me leketa re'ehu. If the thief be not found, im lo yematei ha ganav, then the master of the house shall come near to the Elohim, shall come near to the judges, the Elohim. Nikra ba'ala habayita illa Elohim, to see whether he has put his hand to his neighbor's goods. Im lo shalach yado biya milaketa ra'ayhu. For all manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, for any manner of lost thing, for any manner of lost thing, which another challengeth to be his, the cause of both parties shall come before the judges. The cause of both parties shall come before Ha-Elohim, the Elohim. And whom the judges, whom Ha-Elohim, the Elohim, shall condemn, he shall pay double to his neighbor. For every manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, for ass, for sheep, for raiment, or for any manner of lost thing, any manner of lost thing. All kola davara pesha'a Allah shor Allah hamor hamor Allah hamor Allah se Allah salma Allah kola ha beda ashara yomar kiyu zeh Ada ha-Elohim yavo devara she'neihem asher yara shi'un Elohim yishalema she'naim li'ra'ayhu. For every manner of trespass, whether it be for ox, Ada kola devara pesha'a Allah shor, for ass, Allah hamor, al hamor, for ass, al seh, for sheep, Allah samla, for raiment, Allah kola eveda, asher yomar kihu zeh, or for any manner of lost thing whereof one saith, asher yomar kihu zeh, this is it, kihu zeh, for he, it, this, kihu zeh, this is it. The cause of both parties shall come before Ha-Elohim. Ad Ha-Elohim yabo, devara shenehem, asher yara she'una Elohim, yishalema shenaim li'ra'ayhu. He whom Ha-Elohim shall condemn shall pay double to his neighbor. If a man deliver to his neighbor, if a man deliver to his neighbor an ass or an ox or a sheep or any beast to keep, and it die, or be hurt, or driven away, no man seeing, then shall an oath of Yahweh of Jehovah be between them both, that he hath not put his hand to his neighbor's goods. And the owner of it shall accept thereof, and he shall not make good. And if it be stolen from him, he shall make restitution to the owner thereof. If it be torn in pieces, then make him bring it witness. He shall not make good that which was torn. And if a man borrow aught of his neighbor, and it be hurt, or die, the owner thereof being not with it, he shall surely make it good. If the owner thereof be with it, he shall not make good. If it be an hired thing, it came for his hire. And here, the law, ha-Torah. The second item, the judgments, ha-Mishpatim, the judgments, the ordinances, ha-Mishpatim, the judgments, crimes against humanity. Here, verse 16, crimes against humanity, verse 16. And if a man entice a maid that is not betrothed, and lie and lay sexually with her, he shall surely endow her to be his wife, ishto, his ashet. If her father utterly refused to give her to him, he shall pay money according to the dowry of virgins. Thou, the eye, shall not suffer a witch to live. Whosoever layeth sexually with a beast shall surely be put to death. He that sacrifices Elohim save except to Yahweh, Jehovah only. He shall be utterly destroyed. He shall be utterly downstroyed. Zobeach la Elohim. Yahorama biltia la Yahuwah levado. He that sacrificeth to the gods, to Elohim, save except to Yahweh Jehovah only, shall be utterly destroyed. Zoveach la Elohim Yahorim. Zobeach la Elohim Yahorim bilti la Yahuwah levado. Thou, thy, shalt not neither vex a stranger. Thou, thy, shalt neither vex a stranger, nor oppress, nor downpress him. For y'all were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim. Ye y'all shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If thou, thy, afflict them in any wise, and they cry at all to I will surely hear their cry. And my wrath shall wax hot, and I will kill you with the sword, and your wives shall be widows, and your children fatherless. If thou lend money to any of my people that is poor by thee, thou shalt not be to him as a usurer, neither shalt thou lay upon him usury, lending money at interest. If thou at all take thy neighbor's raiment to pledge, thou shalt deliver it to him by the sun goeth down. For that is his covering only, it his raiment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? And it shall come to pass when he crieth to me, when he crieth to I, that I will hear him. For I, gracious, he kersuto le vada, he simalato le oro bame yishkav wehaya kia yitzaka helai we shamaeti ki hanunani. If thou at all take thy neighbor's garment to pledge, thou shalt restore it to him by the sun. By that the sun goeth down. For that is his only covering. It is his garment for his skin. Wherein shall he sleep? Wherein shall he sleep? And it shall come to pass, wahaya, when he crieth to me, when he crieth to I, kia yitza'aka helai, that I will hear with shama'iti, for I am gracious. Ki hanun ani. Ki hanun ani.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad. Adonai Echad.
And here, Yisrael, Shema Yisrael, here, give ear for the Revi'i, here for the fourth Aliyah for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath Judgments, here picking up the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that is called Exodus chapter 22, here at verse 28, here from the Sefer Shemot, here from the Sefer, the book of the names, Exodus chapter 22, here at verse 28 for the Revi'i. Here for the Revi'i, the fourth Aliyah, fourth reading here, fourth of offering for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath Judgments. Elohim, Lo, Tik, Alel, with Nasi, Bi Ameka,
Lo, Taor. Thou shalt not revile the gods, nor curse the ruler of thy people, Elohim, lo tikalel, nasi bi'amika, lo taor. Thou shalt not revile Elohim, the true good, the true God. Elohim, lo tikalel. Thou shalt not revile the Elohim. Thou shalt not revile Elohim, the judges. Elohim, lo tikalel, nasi bi'amika, lo taor. Nor curse a ruler of thy people. Then Nasi with Nasi, and the ruler with Nasi. Bi'amika, lo taor, no curse a ruler of thy people. Thou shalt not delay to offer the first of thy ripe fruits and of thy liquors. The firstborn of thy sons shalt thou give to me. Likewise shalt thou do with thine oxen, with thy sheep. 7 days it shall be with his dam, with his mother. On the 8th day thou shalt give it me, thou shalt give it I. And ye and y'all shall be holy men, set apart men to me. Neither shall ye y'all eat flesh torn of beasts in the field. Ye y'all shall cast it to the dogs. Hear, Shema Yisrael, hear, Gavil Yisrael, hear. Second book of Moshe, Hebrew book that is called Exodus chapter 23. Lo, Tisa, Shema, Shav, Allah, Taset, Yadika, Aim, Rasha, Lihiota Aid Hamas. Thou shalt not rise a false report. Lo, Tisa, Shema, Shav. Thou shalt not raise a false report, nor put thine hand with the wicked. Al Taseta Yadika Aim Rasha. Put not thine hand with the wicked to be an unrighteous witness. Lihiyot Aid Hamas. Thou shalt not utter a false report. Lo Tisa Shema Shav. Put not thy hand, thy yad, with the wicked, with the ratchet. Allah Tasheta Yadika Aim Rasha. To be an unrighteous witness. Lihiyota Aid Hamas. To be a witness of violence. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to evil, neither shalt thou the eye speak in a cause to decline after many to wrestle judgment. Neither shalt thou countenance a poor man in his cause. If the eye meet thine enemy's ox or his ass going astray, thou shalt surely bring it back to him again. If the eye see the ass of him that hateth thee, lying under his burden, and wouldest forbear to help him, thou, the eye, shalt surely help with him. And here. Shema Yisrael, here for the Hamishi. Here for the Hamishi Aliyah, here for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath Judgments. Here picking up with the second book of Moshe, the Hebrew book that is called Exodus chapter 23, here at verse 6 for the Hamishi, here for the fifth Aliyah, the fifth reading, the fifth Aliyah, the fifth offering up here for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath Judgments. Here from the Sefer Shemot, Hebrew book of Exodus 23 and 6. Lo tateh mishpat evyonika. Lo tateh mishpat evyonika. Bi rivo. Lo tateh mishpat evyonika. Bi rivo. Thou, the eye, shalt not wrestle the judgment of thy poor in his cause.
Lo pateh mishpat evyonika derivo. Thou shalt not wrestle the judgment of thy poor, evyonika derivo, in his cause. Keep thee far from a false matter, and the innocent and righteous slay thou not, for I will not justify the wicked, the ratchet. And thou shalt take no gift, for the gift blindeth the wise and perverteth the words of the righteous. Also, thou shalt not oppress, thou shalt not downpress a stranger. For y'all know the heart of a stranger, seeing y'all were strangers in the land of Mitzrayim, in the land of Egypt. Ha-Torah, the Torah, the law. Second item, ha-mishpatim, the judgments, the mishpatim, the judgments, the land, and ha-shabbat, and the Sabbath. Verse 10. And 6 years thou shalt sow thy land, and shalt gather in the fruits thereof. But the 7th year thou shalt make it rest and lie still, that the poor of thy people may eat, and what they leave the beasts of the field shall eat. In like manner thou shalt deal with thy vineyard, thy vineyard, with thy olive yard. 6 days thou shalt do thy walk. 6 days thou shalt do thy work, and on the 7th day thou shalt rest, that thine ox and thine ass may rest, and the son of thy handmaid and the stranger may be refreshed. And in all that I have said to you, be circumspect, and make no mention of the name of other Elohim, of other gods, neither let it be heard out of thy mouth. The 3 national feasts, unleavened bread, first fruits, in gathering. Verse 14. 3 times thou shalt keep a feast to me, to I, in the year, in the Shana. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, I, in the time and the hour appointed of the month of the moon Abib. For in it thou camest me Mitzrayim, out of Mitzrayim, out of Egypt, and no one shall appear before me, before I empty. And the feast of harvest, the first fruits of thy labors, which that thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labors out of the field. 3 times in the year all thy males shall appear, all thy males shall appear before Ha-Adon Yahuwah, Illa B'nai, Ha-Adon Yahuwah shall appear before the Adon, Yahuwah Jehovah. Thou shalt not offer the blood of my sacrifice with leavened bread, neither shall the fat of my sacrifice remain until the morning, until the boker. The first fruits of thy land thou shalt bring into the house, the bait of Yahuwah Eloheka, of Jehovah thy Elohim. Thou shalt not seize a kid in his mother's milk.
There's a lot of work to be done, oh God, in the promised land. There's a lot of work to be done, oh God, in the promised land, in the promised land.
Are ye not as children of the Ethiopians unto me, O children of Israel, O children of Israel?
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad, Adonai Echad.
And here, Shema Yisrael, here for the Sheishi, here for the Sheishi Ali. And here, Shema Yisrael, here for the Sheishi, here for the Sheishi Ali, here for the 6 up offering, 6 reading, here for this Shabbat Mishpatim, Sabbath Mishpatim, Sabbath the judgments, Sabbath judgments. Here, picking up with the second book of Moshe, the second book of Moses, the Hebrew book that is called Exodus. Here at Exodus chapter 23, here at verse 20 for the Sheishi, here for the sixth Aliyah, the sixth reading of offering up here for this Shabbat, Mishpatim, Sabbath judgments. Instructions and promises and yea and amens concerning the conquest of the land. Here, Shema Yisrael, Exodus chapter 23, here at verse 20 for the Sheishi Ali. Hine Anoki, Sholeach Malak, Le'faneka, Lishamarika, Badarek, with la Vieka, Illa Hamakom Asherah, Hekinoti. Behold, Hine, behold, I send an angel before the eye. Hine, Anoki, Sholeach, Malak. Behold, I send an Malak, an angel. Litfaneka, before the eye, in the eye face, in the eye perception, in thy presence, before the eye. Hine, Anoki, Sholeach, Malak. Litfaneka. Lishamarika Badarek, to keep the eye in the way. Lishmarika Badarek, in the Darek, Badarek, Lishmarika Badarek, with la Vieka Ilhamakom, and to bring the eye into the place, to bring the eye into the place. With la Vieka, with la Vieka, to bring the eye il hamakom, to the makom, il hamakom, Asherah, Hekinoti, that I have prepared. Beware of him and obey his voice, obey his voca. Provoke him not, for he will not pardon your transgression. For my name in him. Hishamer mia panayo, ushma de kollo, ala tamera baua, kilo, yisa le, fisha ekema ki, shemi de kerbo. Take heed of him. Hishamer mipanayo, and hearken to his voice. Ushma bikollo. Be not rebellious against him. Allah tamer bau. Be not rebellious. Tamer al tamer bau. Be not rebellious against him. Ki aloa yisa le fisha ekem. For he will not pardon, fisha ekem, your transgression. Ki shemi bikerbo, for my name. Ki shemi, for shemi, my name. Ki shemi bikerbo is in him. But if the eye shalt indeed obey his voice and do all that I speak, then I will be an enemy to thine enemies, and an adversary to the eye adversaries. Ki'im shamoa tishma bikollo, with asita kol asherah darer, with yaztia eta oyeveka, with esartia eta zorareka. For mine angel shall go before thee, the eye, and bring thee, the eye, into the Amorites and the Hittites and the Perizzites and the Canaanites, the Hivites and the Jebusites, and I will cut them off. Ki yelek, malaki. For mine angel shall go before thee. Ki yelek malaki litfaneka. For mine angel, mine malaki. ki yelek malaki lifaneka wehevieka, and bring thee the eye to the Amorite and the Hittite and the Perizzite and the Canaanite, the Hivite and the Jebusite, and I will cut them off. Thou shalt not bow down to their gods, their Elohim, nor serve them, nor do after their works, but thou, I, shalt utterly overthrow them and quite break down their images. And ye and y'all shall serve Yahweh, y'all Elohim, and he shall bless thy bread and thy water. And I will take sickness away from the midst of thee, from the midst of thee I. Why? Badetem eti Yahweh Elohim, Ua berak, uverak, eta lachem meka, we eta meka, wa siroti machala mi kerbeka, and ye and y'all shall serve Yahweh Jehovah, y'all Elohim. Wa avadetem eti Yahweh Elohim, and he will bless thy bread, uverak eta lachmeka, and thy water eta meyameka, and I will take sickness away from the midst of the eye. Wahe siroti ma'chala mi kerbeka.
There's a lot of work to be done, oh God, in the promised land. Pull up! It's the chapel, power of the Trinity. Fill your mind in this song. Serve the living God and live. Take your trouble to Selassie. He's the only King of Kings. Say it now, yeah. Conquering Lion of Judah. Triumphantly we all must sing. Yeah. Well, I search and I search. Oh, book of man. In Revelation, look what I find. His Selassie is the child. Yes, all the world should know that man is the angel, and our God, the King of Kings. Let me tell you, I search in this great book of life, in the Revelation, see what I found. Is the Selassie, yes, the chapel. He's the only King of Kings. Yeah. Conquering Lion of Judah. Triumphantly we all must sing and sing and sing. Yeah.
what is true.
And David my servant shall be king over them. They all shall have one shepherd.
It is good that you are here to record this picture of me in my palace garden at Addis Ababa. People who see this throughout the world will realize that even in the 20th century, with faith, courage, and a just cause, David will still beat Goliath.
And David my servant shall be king over them. And they all shall have one shepherd. They shall also walk in my judgments and observe my statutes and do them. And they shall dwell in the land that I have given unto Jacob my servant, wherein your fathers have dwelt. And they shall dwell therein, even they and their children, and their children's children, forever. And my servant David shall be their prince forever. Moreover, I will make a covenant of peace with them. It shall be an everlasting covenant with them, and I will place them and multiply them, and will set my sanctuary in the midst of them forevermore. My tabernacle also shall be with them. Yea, I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And the heathen shall know that I, the Lord, do sanctify Israel, when my sanctuary shall be in the midst of them forevermore. Evermore. Evermore.
Yes, I. The chapel, the sanctuary, right here. Shabbat Tov, good strong 7 Sunday service, first day service beginning right now, fulfilling this 18th sabbatical right here. Stay tuned, call in. Check out the live stream. Rastafari Israelites, yes, I.
Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye.